How are you today?
Juliana.
Why should we give you this job?
Sister, utamwangalia.
Madam.
We are completely overwhelmed with cases of mothers like yourself.
Ikifika jioni kama hujapata pesa zangu, funganya vilago vyako vyote na uende ushago.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our lounge number 2. And that what you have seen is the trailer to Act of Love. The director is letting me know that for the first time, you are seeing it for the first time right here at KUTV. And I'm already intrigued. I want to close this and go watch Act of Love. But not to worry, we will have ample time to get to watch that trailer again and to get now to watch the actual film that is called Act of Love. Like you can see, I am not alone. I'm joined by amazing gentlemen that are doing great work. I love brains to beauty because you don't not only look good, you have some content and I am loving it. Thank you very much. So, karibuni sana. I want you guys to say hello because my audience is wondering why is Karen going on and on. They are here. Please say hello. Let's start from right here. Just say your name, what you do, why you're here.
Yeah. So my name is Ken Kigunda.
Yes, Ken.
I work with DocuBox, East Africa Film Fund, where we support independent filmmakers to make films, to tell their stories.
Yes.
We really don't even have like just come with your story.
Yes.
However powerful it is, it can be fiction, it can be documentary.
Yes.
And then we showcase it. So we are so happy to be here today, and especially that particular trailer you've watched today.
Yes.
It's the first time.
Exactly. For the first time.
For the first time. It's a beautiful film. Trust you, you will love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for honoring us with that trailer, for being here and for bringing that along with you. Mr. Director.
Thank you so much. My name is Eric Mwangi. I'm a storyteller who uses filmmaking as a medium to communicate. So filmmaking is the tool, but the job is storytelling.
Yes.
I have quite some history with DocuBox.
Yeah.
Act of Love is like the second thing that DocuBox have actually supported in my life. I'm on the third one now, working on another documentary.
Yes.
And this is a fictional film. And that's just the work I do. I do docus, I do fictional films, both as cinematographer and director.
You tell a story. I liked that blanket because a storyteller can do a lot.
You are a storyteller.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is good to know, but I like that blanket because it covers a lot, and the fact that you've said film is the medium, that is why we are here. We are all matters. In the depth of our hearts, we are all about film. We want to talk
something
about
we've
film.
not mentioned.
Yes.
We are all products of KU.
Yes. Oh yes, they say they are. What were you doing here, Eric?
This is my alma, yeah. So I studied here film technology and theater arts at the Department of Creative Arts and Film and Media. I graduated 2017.
So right here is your foundation.
This is my foundation. This is where it all began. Yes.
We are grateful.
Yeah,
and of
ground
course,
zero.
Exactly. Ground zero is here. And that is kudos to Kenyatta University. Yeah. That means they are doing a bit of good work because otherwise you would not be back here. Proudly back here. Exactly. What are you doing here at Kenyatta University?
I'm still a student
yes,
here.
Ken.
I'm doing my master's in communication and media. So Dr. Kingar actually is my supervisor. So we are still on process of finishing this season.
Exactly. Yes. Amazing. Dr. Kingara, I know he's watching. Yes, some of your students are here making you prouder. If this somehow participates in them, passing that class, we would be very happy. Thank you. I know he is watching. He is usually a very proud follower of his students in KU.
And actually most of the DocuBox has also
Yes.
Yeah.
Wamboi, screening manager. Jonjo used to work with us.
Jonjo was actually the originator of the DocuBox KU screenings
Yes.
back then.
So KU products, you're going out there and coming back home.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want you to briefly introduce DocuBox. I don't like skipping that because we have had conversations about DocuBox for a long time. So we like to pull up and what does DocuBox do? And I want us to start with Eric on this one. I want to know how you came by DocuBox.
So my first interaction with DocuBox was in 2019. Of course, I'd heard about them a bit, and they were doing a bit of work with some documentary filmmakers out there. I didn't even know what documentary filmmaking is, essentially, in terms of like seeing the process. And so they let out a call for a boot camp in 2019. And so I was selected for that boot camp. And that's the first time I interacted with DocuBox, where they commissioned me for a project and funded it at the same time, just so that filmmakers can have a kind of a portfolio of work.
Yes.
So you know how to film, but no one has given you the opportunity to create something by hiring you.
Exactly.
So what DocuBox did was that they curated a masterclass, and people applied based on your qualifications. You were accepted, and then you were trained, and then funded, and then shot the documentary, and then released it.
Yes.
So you experienced the entire process without paying a single coin. Literally, what you actually paid was just your fare or to get to DocuBox,
which is very minimal.
And then you leave there with something to your name,
a finished product
to your name, and from that, many clients have come.
Exactly.
So that it's like an open door for many filmmakers, and I'm just one.
Exactly. Yeah. You're just one of them. Perfect. I like that. So now we can go back to Ken.
Yeah.
And what was the dream for DocuBox? How, when you guys started, what did you want to see happen?
Actually, this year is a big year for us. We are celebrating 10 years anniversary since establishment.
10 years is a long time.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
2023.
Yes.
2013. Sorry.
Yes, to now 2023.
So DocuBox, it began as a documentary film fund where they would support impact documentary, not just any other documentary. And then it's moved on to supporting fiction films, and now we are doing short films and all this now because we believe in expanding into the film industry.
Yes.
And so what we do is that we support independent filmmakers who are passionate about telling their stories. May it be documentary, may it be fictions, may it be short stories. And so with that, we have different ways of support.
Yes.
One is grants that we give to filmmakers to make films. The other one is that we do impact screenings. After we help you to produce a film, we also help you to go through the festivals, film festivals, or even community screenings where we take your film to the community, where especially for those impact documentaries touching on issues that affect communities, we take them back there. But we also do a lot of master classes and support. Especially now we have a master class that is ongoing for documentary editing, and we brought Miles from US just to come and
check through.
So we try to connect filmmakers after you make your film. How do you then reach to those levels that we really want to get into, and through those kind of support that we build. So that's part of what we do. We also have our own screenings, like shots, which is coming up.
Yes, which we will talk about.
Yeah,
exactly.
So where we again help filmmakers like Eric the winner with the Act of Love, which will showcase for the first time on 4th of June during the Mzalendo edition.
Yes.
We give them platform again to be able to
showcase
their work.
So I feel like DocuBox follows the entire process from an idea in your head.
Yeah. So Act of Love is going sort of to be like a point of contact to the audience because of DocuBox, as opposed to us organizing an entire screening and calling people to come watch, and the arduous marketing that goes into it, and they already have an audience.
Exactly. So I am loving that. It's like they are taking you, this is how things are done. So you have this idea, this is how you actualize. And then they don't just leave it after actualization. Okay, after that, this is how you take it to the people. So I like the entirety of the process that DocuBox has brought to the table.
We believe in storytelling.
Exactly.
You can imagine whatever story that you have.
Yes.
And actually, that's why even in 2019, 2018, we ran a whole campaign about freedom of expression because we don't want artists and storytellers to be limited.
Exactly.
Let them tell their story.
Let them tell whatever story that is right. And they are creative. They can tell.
Tap the imagination.
Exactly. Their imagination is out there. So I think DocuBox is the right platform. Eric, I want us to talk about the first documentary that you did and what it was about before we come to Act of Love. Yes.
That's actually another thing that DocuBox aided in.
Yes.
At the onset of the pandemic, everything shut down.
Yeah.
Some of the direct people to be affected were entertainers because, everyone had to stay inside and nobody had a model for a pandemic anywhere in the world.
Did not
so
previously.
we were actually just finding our feet.
Yes.
And so filmmakers, artists, people in hospitality and anyone who interacts with large groups could not work.
Yes.
So what DocuBox did is, I think they got a Sundance grant, a grant from Sundance, and that grant was for filmmakers to stay afloat during that period.
Okay.
So there was a story that was lingering around me at that time that involved Dr. Jemima Karaoke and the kind of work that she was doing, helping women just get to hospital to deliver a child because of the problems of curfew that were there as a result of the pandemic. And so we find the government was trying to mitigate one disaster, but inadvertently some people were victimized because of that. And part of that group was vulnerable women, expectant women who could not get to the hospital at night.
Yes.
And so in considering, the variables, Dr. Jemima and I are close friends. I reached out and I asked her, hey, would you allow me to just be embedded in your life for a period of time, just to see the kind of work you're doing?
Yes.
And she gave me the chance. But then I pitched the idea to DocuBox, and I remember Judy on the call, she told me something that I'll never forget. She said, Eric, I think your instinct for this documentary is right. However, there is a way to do it because this is not your regular NGO documentary.
Exactly.
It's another genre which is called verite cinema or observational cinema.
Okay.
And so you ingest a lot more information to tell a story without interfering with the character's world as it is.
Yes.
And that's what I started working on, and they funded it. I remember even the beginning of the funding was at like $2,000 just to do this, and I was able to get that.
Yes.
So that was another point of contact with DocuBox.
With DocuBox.
And the story focuses on maternal health, especially of the prenatal kind, where Dr. Jemima could start seeing that there are no mechanisms for emergency with regards to maternal health when women need to get to the hospital. If tomorrow we get another pandemic, it will still be a repeat of the same problem. And so she rose to the occasion to help the situation. And I was the filmmaker who was behind filming her. And that is what I was doing for a better part of a year and a half.
That's a long time. I'd like to ask a question on that because this is a documentary you're making like a fly on the wall. Like you're essentially not supposed to interfere with the lives of the people, with the life of the people that you are filming, and putting together. And we are trying to understand the documentary process. Here, you're not actively involved. How was that experience for you?
The experience was it was a first for me because even after filming like day one, the footage had to get vetted just so that I can know whether I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And so you find that I'm going to tell you a funny story that happened that night, the first night we filmed with Dr. Jemima.
Yes.
So she had this routine where she comes home. Actually, she's a master's student.
Yes.
Planning for her wedding.
Yes.
A resident OBGYN
Yes.
at Kenyatta Referral.
Yes.
And that's what she does during the day.
Yes.
So she has to come home and study.
Yes.
And then at night,
Yeah.
she has to now again stay awake like for an entire night.
Yes.
Helping women.
Helping
and
women.
nobody asked her to do it.
Yes.
So now for the first night as we're filming,
Yes.
I hadn't done anything like this in my life.
In your life.
So now we started filming at like 9 p.m.
Yes.
At around 4 a.m., I can't hold myself. So I'm drowsy and I'm dizzy. I just want to sleep. So what I did was I set the camera somewhere.
Yeah.
I pressed record.
Yeah.
And I slept.
Wow.
Then later on, a few moments later, I just had someone hit me.
Yes.
Gah! She hit me and she told me, wake up. Someone just delivered on the road. And so the first thing I went to check was the camera rolling?
Yes.
And it was. And so we got that
Yes.
in the shot. And it's amazing when you see it, when you just see
God.
how
Yeah.
these pediatrics were out there during curfew hours
Yeah.
trying to get to someone in Molem
Yes.
or Kayole or Ukondani where the ambulances can't reach.
Yes.
And they had to direct the lady and the man, just
Yes.
mweke kwa manyasi mahali, this is what you do.
Yes.
And the baby came out and they told them, just don't cut the cord until the ambulance got there.
Yes.
So that was a successful delivery by the side of the
By the
road.
side of the road.
That was able to be helped by Dr. Jemima as
Yes.
Eric was filming.
Yes.
You get the ecosystem, like
Yes.
it's
That is an elaborate
so
ecosystem.
yeah. So that's
My
that
God,
was
such were the experiences
that was the
for a
experiences.
year and a half.
And so what Dr. Jemima's experience gave me
Yes.
as a man
Yes.
is being present to see the flaws that are there in the system, but also personalizing the problem because you're dealing with issues that affect real people.
Yes.
Up to the point an expectant lady delivers.
Yeah.
And there was another night I was embedded with a paramedic team
Yes.
at night as we went to, and we actually saw how Wheels for Life now works on that other end.
Yes.
Because one night we were with Jemima, but this other night we were with the ambulance
Yes.
guys.
Yeah.
And we got to one lady who actually was able to get to Dandora Medical Center.
Yes.
And they actually had a safe delivery.
Yeah.
And the paramedics said that if that lady had stayed for 1 more hour
Yeah.
in the house, it would be a home delivery with no one to help her.
Yes.
So that is the experience of Wheels for Life. When you
Yeah.
come to Act of Love now picks it. It's a fictional film, has no relationship to Wheels for Life.
Yeah.
But the way it has been written by the writer,
Yes.
it is her own experience as a mother of a 3-4-month-old baby. And the pressures that she experienced as a mom at that time.
At that
So while
stage.
Wheels for Life gave me perspective up
Yes.
to birth.
Yes.
This was
Now-
a perspective of now a young child
After,
raising
exactly.
and how a mom is reacting to that and,
Yes.
and what are the things that are around her and what are the circumstances that led to this lady being this child
Yeah.
being born, and now she is a mom hustling.
Yes. What is life like?
What is life like?
Exactly. Wow, we want to get into that a bit deeper, but I want us to get into shorts, and Mzalendo edition.
And actually, before shorts, I also
Yeah.
had COVID experience.
Yes.
So by then, I received a call. It was at 3 a.m. And one of our neighbors, she was expectant and she was almost to deliver.
Yeah.
So we had to drive her to hospital, and during that time, it was COVID time again,
Yeah.
curfew.
So it was
It's
curfew.
3 a.m. and then it was not even 4 a.m. I remember the
Yes.
cops stopping us, and we were like, we cannot stop.
Yeah.
If we stop, you
Yes.
either
Yeah.
no
You have
help
to
us.
deal with
That
the
was
delivery.
bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had to drive very fast, actually, to the hospital.
Yes.
And the moment we reached hospital, she gave birth to
Wow.
the baby. We even called the baby
You
Outlander
see, like
because of
time,
the car.
Yes.
time is crucial. Like time
Yes,
is
very, very
time
crucial.
with
Like a bomb.
delivery
Yeah.
is very
Yeah.
crucial.
Yeah.
And that can also mean the difference between life and death.
Yeah, because we were just woken up. You have to help this neighbor.
Yeah.
You have to drive and go. So
And
we
just
we
go.
just jumped off the bed and
Yeah.
just
And you see, the cost of it was
Yeah.
that by the time the government was actually, by the time I believe the Interior Cabinet Secretary was Dr. Fred Matiang'i at that
Yes.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that time.
By the time he's actually allowing free movement for people who are responding to emergencies,
Yeah.
there were already children
Been
who
a
had already
chunk of
died.
time.
So many-
Blood has been
yeah.
lost. Some women have
Exactly.
lost their lives.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
fathers have tried to deliver their own children without no prior knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of death
Before they realized,
Yeah.
there's a problem here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is what I like about filmmaking.
Yeah.
I feel like we're usually able to get to the stories that other
That
people
matter.
before
Yeah.
not even that faster.
Yeah,
like
faster,
before the
faster.
government realizes, we're already on the ground
The
doing
stories are being told. Yeah.
exactly getting our hands dirty and telling stories as
Yeah.
they are. And also sometimes we act as the communicators to the government, because
True.
if we don't do this, then they don't know what is happening.
Yeah.
Judy Kibike, executive director of DocuBox, told me one time that a country without documentaries is like a family without a photo album.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So you can't wait until the government
Government
responds
responds.
for you
Exactly.
to start capturing the story.
Yes.
We want journalists for
Yes,
that.
exactly.
You get? But for filmmakers and documentary filmmakers who know the issues on the ground, they're the pioneers, they're like the
Exactly.
heralds
Yes.
of the issue before
Yes.
even like.
Before that, no, there comes
Yeah.
in the government
Yeah.
respondents
And I would say as much,
yeah.
it's the same also for issue-based filmmaking. Fictional films that
Yes.
are also issue-based.
Yes.
It's also
you
almost
tell
same
the
thing,
story way earlier. Tulikuwa tumeiona 2 months ago before, you know.
It's prophetic. It's almost prophetic. like,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's almost prophetic. Mzalendo, what edition is Mzalendo edition this year?
Oh, this is big.
Yeah.
Actually, Kenya is turning 60.
Yes. Oh,
and
yeah.
DocuBox is turning 10.
Yes.
And Short is turning 5.
Yes.
So, and Mushroom, the Mushroom is turning 50.
Yes.
So it's kind of,
There are a lot of things that are culminating
So
at...
this
yeah.
edition, Zalendo edition, is going to be big because we are throwing it back. Again, we want to celebrate our culture. We want
Yes.
to celebrate being Kenyan.
Yes.
And we have to make it, 60 years is not just
It's not a
any
short
other.
time.
It's
No.
not a short time.
Yeah.
And 10 years also is not a very short time of supporting
Exactly.
independent filmmakers.
Yes.
And 5 years again of shorts.
Exactly.
And,
That is
the Mushroom,
successful.
one of the most iconic
Yes.
bands in Kenya.
Yes.
It's the Mushroom. If
Yeah.
you look at the way the Kenyan music has been curated, it's the Mushroom actually who began. If you look at Hakuna Matata,
Yes.
that's name came
Those were the-
from
Exactly.
Jambo.
Yes.
Those kind of names came from the Mushroom.
Yes.
And so we're having them performing live this time on Short.
It will be a nice
But
one.
also, we're having amazing films. I mean, like the showcasing of now Act of Love and
Yes.
other very, very good films that we will be showing, short films. On that day, please, you can't avoid to miss it. This time,
Exactly.
Karen, you have
If
to
you
come.
were not sold already by Eric talking about Act of Love, now we have the Mushrooms, and they are doing
and Saem will be
Yes.
giving us throwback music. You can remember those kind of music that we had from Nonini, Nameless.
yeah, it's an
correct.
actual TBT.
It's a TBT.
Yeah. I think that's what I love about the whole Mzalendo edition.
Yeah.
It takes Kenya to 50 years
Years
back
back.
to what, like to
We are going
a
60,
real time
50, 10,
TBT.
5.
Exactly.
years of
How
TBT.
many films are you going to be screening?
We've curated so far around 10 films
Yes.
that we'll be showcasing then. What we've done this time, we have new films that are showcasing for the very first time.
Yes.
But we also have films that the very first short.
Yes.
We are also showcasing them this time.
Yes,
around
it's a
here.
celebration
It's
also.
a celebration. Yeah, we are taking it
Wow.
back
Yes.
and taking it forward at the same time.
Exactly. Wow, I am loving that. I like the balance in Mzalendo.
Yeah.
I have always loved that edition
Yeah.
from shorts. And Eric, Act of Love. Now let's talk about Act of Love, and it's following after delivery. Now you are 3 months, 4 months. What was the message you were looking to pass on? Yes.
This is very funny because so Some Fine Day film, Some Fine Day Picks, which is I would say like a second season of what One Fine Day was.
Yes.
One Fine Day gave you the films Nairobi Half-Life,
Oh,
Soul
yeah.
Boy,
Yes.
Supermodo, Katikati,
Yes.
Veve,
Yes.
Lusala. I think Lusala was their last
yeah.
installation.
Yeah.
They opened another a totally independent production
Yeah.
house or workshop house that allowed filmmakers like me to be trained
Yes.
by other international filmmakers in directing and everything. And then it was at that point that the writers were told to pitch their stories to producers and directors. I was in the directing masterclass
Yes.
at that time.
Okay.
And so in pitching, the writer actually had sent me a message on Signal and told me, Eric, would you be interested in this film?
Yeah.
This is my script.
Yeah.
And when I read it, the people who were of the same mind with at that workshop, all of them felt like this is a story that is, first of all, very relevant.
Yes.
Number two, very urgent. And it is right for us.
Yes.
And with the kind of budgets that we were getting from Some Fine Day, this would be a story that we'll be able to tell. And the budget for the short film was capped at around 20,000 euros.
Yeah.
I think that's roughly about 2 mic
Yeah.
for a short film.
Yes.
So it's at that time that when we were now interrogating no, interrogating is a strong word. I'm sorry. We were now interviewing the writers on why they want to tell these stories. The writer Shelley Gitonga, just if you just hear her talking about this story,
Pitch to
you'd
you
realize
this
that I
story.
don't need to be here. It's Shelley who's supposed to be seated here. And she told me, Eric, have you wondered why? She said, Eric, I've always wondered why we're only seeing baby showers that are so blue and pink.
Yeah.
And they are
It
so
is what we
glamorous.
see.
And they are so sweet and they are so cute.
Yeah.
And they are so, they're so shiny.
Yes. And put together.
But I am a mom of 2 children.
Yeah.
And this is just not my truth, Eric. So I want to tell this story.
Yes.
Because I want people to know what it means being a mom.
Exactly.
And that just summarizes the entire spirit
Exactly.
of Act of Love.
Yes.
From the trailer to the film to the poster. If you have the poster, like, it's amazing
Yes.
how it has been designed. It just captures the tensions of motherhood with a small child who's just about that age.
Yes.
And how it responds, especially for moms who come out of, well, I don't want to throw this blanket out there, but the story actually focuses on low income to middle income moms who are in those areas, trying to make it in the world. Because when you look at the synopsis of, like, the log line of the story, it says Juliana, who's a young mom, and she's trying to make it in Nairobi. But when the pressures come in on this one day from hell, and she's trying to just get someone to hold the baby for her so she can make it to an interview, there's just no one available. So how does she respond? And how she responds, she must prove that she's able to take care of her child while still taking care of her life. So you have these 2 issues fighting against one another. Now the question the film seeks to answer is, how did she respond?
Exactly.
And that's the invitation to you. Come and watch.
Come and watch how she did respond. Right about now, I think it's about time we take a second sneak peek to the trailer, just to let you see what you will be expecting and how Juliana tackles this very life situation that happens to very, very, many
women.
many mothers. So take a look.
How are you today?
Juliana,
Why should we give you this job?
sister, utamwangalia.
Madam. Si hata fanya mtoto atulie kidogo acha.
We are completely overwhelmed with cases of mothers like yourself.
Wewe nini angalia kwenye unaenda kwani nimebeba mtoto?
Ikifika jioni, kama hujapata pesa zangu, funganya virago vyako vyote na uende ushago.
Act of Love is intense. At least for me, it already feels intense in 1 minute. How long is the film?
The film is 26 minutes, 27 seconds.
Yes.
It's been paced properly. The tension that you feel in the trailer exists in the runs in the entire movie.
Exactly.
And you're able to see the truth of what a day looks like.
Yes.
So that at the, your mind is going to be changed.
Yes.
Concerning moms. And it's something I'd like to say. Maybe I am a young husband now.
Yeah.
there's some expectation in my heart that maybe one day, we start a family.
Yes.
And I have a wife.
Yes.
How can I respond in that moment? What is my role
Yes.
at that point?
Yeah.
When my wife has delivered?
Yes.
How do I respond to that situation? Or Ken, in the matatu, when there is a woman with a child there, how are you going to
How are
respond?
you going to?
So it really makes you look at yourself.
Yes.
And at the showcase, after the showcase, there's going to be a Q&A session. So we get also to respond to the film and the making of the film.
Yes, and the making of the film. Okay, I like if you didn't have a reason to come to the Mzalendo edition, I think now you do, because you might be newly married. I think I'm going to bring my husband to this one for that reason. So
And
then
actually-
we are happy.
Yeah. so moms are the primary audience.
Exactly.
Fathers are the secondary audience.
Exactly.
And aspiring ones.
Exactly. So if you are not yet, you are aspiring. So you might as well come and have a good time as you actually pick up real life lessons that you can go use there. Okay, we are almost out of time. Eric, take us through the activity of the day. What will the day be like?
For the Mzalendo edition, and
Yes.
the good thing is that we have we usually start screening at 2 p.m.
At 2 p.m.
2 p.m. So we run for like 90 minutes.
Yes.
So after that, then the mushroom will be performing.
Yes.
Definitely, they've curated quite good music, so you need to be there.
Yeah.
And after that, we have director's launch. So what happens, what Eric says, there's a Q&A session is where we give now aspiring filmmakers,
Yes.
enthusiasts, filmmakers and film lovers to interact directly with the producers and directors of the films. So there you can ask any question about the way they went through making that particular film, editing, any question that you have and feel that you need to ask the filmmakers in that particular room. So it's a very intense moment that you really get to get first-hand information about filmmaking from a real world, because these are people who have produced.
Exactly, and in real time. Yes.
So you get it there. So that's the most important part of the director's launch. Then after that, we go again. Those who come late, in case you missed out on the films, you can also do. We do loop. So we have noise cancellation earphones that people can now watch films again. But this time, well, the music and other performances and actors are going on.
So
you
what
use
you
the noise
want.
cancellation and continue watching the films on the loop. So after that, sherehe ni sheria.
Yes.
So now we play music, play back and everything.
Yes.
As we take shots, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and then cocktails and so many other things that are happening in that particular space.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have been here, guys. We have talked about other shots editions, and they are usually epic. I think we would do a great injustice if we would not mention who are the actors, actresses
Fantastic.
in Act of Love.
Yes. And let me just start by shouting out DocuBox.
Yes.
Because I say the film has been funded by Sun Fine Pix.
Exactly.
How DocuBox came in is when we actually ran out of money. And we called DocuBox and we were like, we've ran out of money and we need money to compose the music for the film. And as a director, style is very important. So for me, I use a lot of sound design and a lot of music to tell the story. And it's DocuBox who made it possible for the music to be composed by one Lucas McNally in Berlin, and it's voiced and recorded. It's voiced by Janice Wanjiro, who's our very own, and Saint P, the producer, who's actually done the recording. And on the acting side, it stars Mwix Mutinda, who plays the role of Juliana, and it stars baby Talia Jasmine, who is the child in the film, as you've seen, and we are very happy with the mom who actually took a very courageous step. The funny thing is that the writer's story and the mom's story are almost similar.
Yes.
Both of them have experienced the same type of pressure when it comes to postpartum. So it was very easy for Wamboi Mwema to give us Talia to be a star in the film. So Talia doesn't even know what's going on as we are shooting. But she's just delivering her lines and crying and doing all that.
Yes.
The film also stars Julissa Rowe, who is the director, our sister Magdalene, and Naomi Mboro, who's going to play Jane. who's a receptionist at, and then it stars also Millicent Ogutu, who's a big time actor in Kenya, and a IP lawyer in Kenya as well. And she came through for us with you know, we like called in a lot of we had to do it well, and it's filmed by Jim Bishop, and especially a shout out to the moms of Act of Love crew. There's some people who are there that we hired. I was working with them for the first time, and I didn't know their moms. So as we're filming, it is only after we wrapped and a few days later they were coming to tell me, Eric, you have explained my story. You have actually captured my story on screen, and I can't wait to see this film succeed. And finally, I think I'd like to shout out my producer, Charlene Wangare, the one and only Shish from Tidy High. Charlene Wangare is great, and she's doing amazing things out there. And this is the work of her hands in terms of producing.
Charlene, thank you very much for producing such an amazing film. We are looking forward. We're out of time. Give us the when, the where, and the tickets, and whether we are getting tickets. If you are not, you're just not leaving this studio.
Definitely,
so just the when.
KU always, KUTV always. You can get your tickets at ticket.mydocubox.org. You can also view our social media, My DocuBox, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, or we have all of them, or even short Instagram page, where you can get all these details. We are pumping out information. Even the Mushrooms social media page, you can also find there. Act of Love, you will also find so many trailer today officially. So there's a lot of information out of there. So please come join us on 4th of June. 2 p.m. The gist is just wear a shot. Come, we watch short films, and then we take shots.
That is the gist, and it is usually fun. It is fantastic. So on the 4th of June, if you can get your ticket, I feel the easiest one, just look for DocuBox. When you look for DocuBox, you're going to get information to where you can get the tickets to Eric, to Act of Love, and to Ken. So just look for DocuBox, get your ticket, and be there. It is going to be worth your time. How much are the tickets?
1,000 shilling for single. 3,000 for couple, but redeemable at the counter.
Okay, so just 1,000 bob for yourself. Kama wewe na mtu wako 3,000, and you get drinks for free. We are out of time. Kemboi Kelman anasema amazing one. These brains are bright. Thumbs up, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Abi Sharia anasema can't wait for the Act of Love film. Asante sana. I am loving this wonderful conversation. Can't wait for more interesting conversations as this. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us today, gentlemen. We have learned. We know tuko na plans the 4th of June. Okay, so we are ready to come and enjoy Shorts Mzalendo edition 2023. All right, so I also want to say goodbye right here. Thank you for your comment, for your compliments, for your company throughout the whole show. We have been here since 7 a.m. and I am nothing short of happy. I am happy for your listening, for your chipping in, and for you in person. So have an amazing week. I'll see you next Monday as we celebrate the new month of June.